We are learning about surface area of rectangular prisms. You learned surface area last year, so this is not new. This is basically like a little refresher. Mr. Maraldi is giving you the sheet that you see on the screen. You need two of them. So when it comes time for you to get them, make sure you grab two and pass the other ones on up. Everybody needs two of these. Okay? This is a rectangular prism. Okay? If you've ever wrapped a present for Christmas that was in a shirt box or sock box, whatever, or jewelry that's one of those long rectangular boxes, those are rectangular prisms. Tissue boxes, those are rectangular prisms. Surface area would be if I wanted to buy wrapping paper to wrap this, how much paper would I need to buy? I would use surface area to figure that out. Surface area is if I wanted to cover every single face, every single surface of this, how much would it take up? So we're talking about today. Okay? It's surface area. So now you should have two of these and a white piece of paper. Does everybody have two? This is called a net. This is a rectangular prism before it was folded. You've seen this before, yeah? Okay. We're going to use nets today during our work. You're also going to get one more sheet of problems. And we'll get started on these today. And when we don't finish with these, will be your homework tonight. So you can put your problems that I'm giving you right now to the side. We won't need them immediately. Does everybody have two nets, problem, and a white piece of paper? Yes. Okay. All right. Put your problems on the floor for it and go in. Okay. The first order of business is we're going to cut out our nets. Listen, you're going to cut around the outline. Cut around the outline of the net. Both of them. Using scissors, cut out both nets. You just cut the outside, the outline. Does everybody understand what I mean by the outline? Okay, we got to cut. Give you a couple of seconds, a couple minutes to get that done. There's mine.
You're going to take one of these nets and glue it to the white piece of paper we gave you. But glue it where the single flap is up, like you see here. But leave some room at the top of your paper that you can write a definition. Leave some room at the top of your paper so you can write a definition. So you're gluing it with a flap, single flap up. Over here, Tara, see this one. Single flap up. Do not cover the back of this with glue. We gotta glue one of those down.
You want it flat to the paper.
Leave some room at the top to write a definition. Leave some room at the top to write a definition. You're gluing a single flap towards the top of your paper. You don't need to coat the entire back of your thing you're gluing down. Your neck is going down.
Okay. down. Glue it down. Okay? Alright. At the very top of your paper.
You're going to write this definition. Surface area is the sum of the areas of the faces of a three-dimensional figure that goes at the top of your net where you glued it on your paper. That's why we told you leave some room at the top to write your definition. You need to get it glued down and get this definition. Surface area is the sum of the areas of all the faces of a three-dimensional figure. Put the examples down as well that we talked about. We talked about wrapping a gift box. That is a three-dimensional figure. If I wanted to paint this cube, that would be the surface area. How do you know the surface area of the cube? Surface area is the sum of the areas of all the faces of a three-dimensional figure. Okay, now that you have the definition, let's page up just for a minute. Let's look at our three-dimensional figure. As you can see, there's a top, front, a left, a bottom, a back, and a right. What?
Just look on it tonight. You got one.
All right. So now we're going to go back to our web. We're going to start with the top flap. Top part of our web right here. I want you to take one of the markers that's in your pouch. You are working on the one you have glued down to the paper. Take one of your markers and trace this square, or rectangle right here. And then go ahead and shade it in. Do not color the flaps in, just the dotted line of the rectangle. Once you get that shaded in, we're going to figure out the area of just this rectangle right here. So if I count my squares, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and going down, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So to find my area, I multiply 6 times 5, and I get 30. So 30 is my area for that flap right there, that part of the net.
Get that written down. 6 by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 squares across the top. 5 down the side. That's how we get our 6 times 5, which is 30. Figure out the surface area of this rectangular prism. You have to figure out the area of each piece. There's 6 pieces: a top, a bottom, left, a right. Okay? 6 faces. So we got to figure out the area of all 6 faces. We just figured out one of those faces was 30. We're going to figure out the rest.
Okay, you got this flap. Skip the middle one right here and go down to the next one that matches the one you just did.
There's a different color.
It's your choice. I'm doing the same just so you can see that they're a similar piece, they're the identical pieces of the prism. Yeah, same way, shade it in, and then we'll calculate the area for this piece. Once again, we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 across, and then going down, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this will also be 6 times 5 and be 30. So you should have 2 parts or 2 faces of the 6-sided rectangular prism now shaded. Alright, once you get that, I'm going to take another color and we'll do this piece in between, this space right here. We'll do the same thing here, shade this in. Shade this in right here. Alright, different color. Alright, once you get that middle section shaded in, we're going to figure out the area on it. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 across. 1, 2, 3. I've got 4 going down. So 6 times 4. That piece is 24. I'm going to repeat the same process with this other flap of the net. That should be your bottom. Once we complete this, we'll have 4 faces of our rectangular prism, which is comprised of 6 total. I did not learn how to color in another first grade, obviously, so I cannot stand lines. We'll get that tomorrow. Going across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Going down, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. My area for this section of a rectangular prism, 6 times 4 is going to be 24. Now I've got 4 of my 6 faces. Now we're going to do the 2 flaps on the side. Go ahead and shade that in as well. I'll use a different one. Once you get this shaded in, we will calculate the area of it as well. This is going to be, again, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 across, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down. What's 4 times 5? So this will be 4 times 5, and it will equal 20. Let's go ahead and do the other flap. And this one will also be what? 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this flap will be 4 times 5 and also equal 20. So when we started talking about this, to start out with, we talked about surface area being the total area of the 6 faces. So to find this, what do you think I have to do now? Add them up. So you're going to add 20 and 20, 24 and 24, and what are my other two? Bless you. 30 and 30. When we do surface area, we'll use centimeters, cm, as our unit of measure for this. But surface area is expressed in centimeters squared, inches squared, whatever the unit of measure is squared. So when you get this total, let me know. It was 148 centimeters squared. That is a surface area. How much it would take to cover that flat net that we have, all 6 sides of it. That took a long time. We're fixing to show you a shorter way to do this. But you need to understand how it all fits together. So you should have, make sure you have these at the bottom. We have 2 20s, 2 24s, and 2 30s. So there's 2 of each of the 3 sides.
Okay, so we have 2 of each. The next thing I want you to do is take your other net that you cut out. Take your other net that you cut out already, and we're going to fold it down to make, an actual rectangular prism. Okay? You will notice that on the net that you cut out, there are some flaps and there are dotted lines. Okay? These are the flaps right here. You'll make a crease on these. So each dotted line, you make a fold, a crease. You're going to fold it so that your squares are out. Okay? They're facing out. So you fold, you're going to fold it so that your squares are facing out. Okay? I put tape on the sides of your desk so that as you make your rectangular prism, you can tape it together. If you need more tape, you're more than welcome to ask for it. At this time, you are building your rectangular prism, and we're going to help you if you need help with it. Okay?
Remember, the faces need to show out. Your flaps get tucked inside.
You should now have your rectangular prism built. I want you to sit your rectangular prism on your desk so that it's sitting up like mine is on the screen. Okay? I want the big fat part of the rectangular prism facing you. Everybody with me? Okay. Take a marker, and we're now going to mark off our dimensions of our rectangular prism. The reason that this is a 3D shape is because it was just a rectangle. Then, if you take another rectangle and you translate it through space, it becomes a 3D shape. It has height and it has depth. Okay? When I say depth, that's what allows us to have a box that we can put something in. That's why it's called 3 dimensions. Okay? It has depth to it. It has length, width, and depth. Okay? That's why it's called a 3D, 3 dimensions. All right, the want to figure out is the length of our rectangular prism. So take a marker, and you're going to go along this top lip of your rectangular prism and draw a line. I want you to count how many squares. How many? How many squares? And we're going to put a 6 right there. There's 6. Okay, we're good so far? Okay, the next measurement will be the height. Let's go down this way and count for the height. Okay, how tall is it? 5. Okay, depth. Depth is going to be going to the back. So when we do the depth, okay, the depth is going to be going down the side this way, over here. Go down the side over here. I can't draw it on mine. It will be going down this way right there. Down that way. How many squares will I get going down that way? I got 4 too. Did you get 4 over there? Yeah. Up here at the top on the side. That's your depth. How deep it goes to the back. Okay? So if I could see mine, I would be drawing a line like that. And it would be 4. Is everybody with me? Okay, those are our 3 dimensions. Now, go to your paper that we drawn on this morning. You put that first net down and find an empty spot. Okay, in that empty spot, we're going to write our 3 dimensions down. 6 times 5 times 4. All I did was take these 3 dimensions and write them down in a string. 6 times 5 times 4. Okay? Alright, take a marker. Take a marker. Take a marker. Get a marker in your hand. Okay, draw your first rainbow, which is going to be 6 times 5. Okay, underneath here, I'm going to write 6 times 5. That same color. 6 times 5. Okay, put that marker up. New marker. Next rainbow is going to be what? What do you think? 6 times 4. Come underneath here and do 6 times 4. Okay, the last rainbow is what? Yep, this one right here, 5 times 4. You should have 2 rainbows that go over and the last one that goes under. There's a reason for that. Just don't forget. Okay. How many faces did we say a rectangular prism has? How many faces? 6, right? How many do we have here? 3. We only did 3. We gotta have 6. We gotta do each one of these how many times? 2 times. Okay, good deal. We gotta do each one of those twice. So instead of writing them twice, we're gonna use our little algebra skills and do a parenthesis with a 2 out here. Okay, each one of these twice. And now we're ready to solve. Alright, 6 times 5, 30. 30 times 2. Okay. 6 times 4. 6 times 4. 6 times 4. 24 times 2. 28. 5 times 4. 20 times 2. Okay, now what do I do with these 3 numbers? I gotta add these up right here. Okay? So 60, 48, and 40. I'm gonna add those up. And you get 148 centimeters squared. We just found the surface area of that net without doing all that coloring, without figuring out all the little squares. Okay? Figured out using 3 measurements and 3 rainbows. Okay? On the CRCT or any test, you're not going to be able to cut out a net. flat and color and all that, are you? Okay, this is to help you understand how we go from inside the net, the bases, to this map right here. Help you make those connections. Okay, take that paper I gave you that has some problems on it. I gave you a paper at the beginning of class that has some problems on it. Now, get that on your desk. Okay. Our first problem is a rectangular prism that has measurements of 2, 20, and 2. Those are our three measurements, okay? So we're going to write those down in a string over here so we can set up for our rainbow. So 2 times 20 times 2. That sets us up for our rainbow. Okay, first rainbow. 2 times 20. 2 times 20. All right, second rainbow. 2 times 2. And the final rainbow. Underneath is 20 times 2. Okay? Now how many times do we have to do each one of these? 3 times. Okay. All right, 20 times 2 is what? And 40 times 2 is? 80. 2 times 2 is? 4 times 2 is? 20 times 2 is? 40 times 2 is? Okay, now I'll take these three. 80 plus 80 plus 8, and I'll add those up. 168. So you get 168 centimeters on your paper. Centimeters squared. Yeah, centimeters squared. Okay, next one. Ready for this one? Okay. All right, so let's write them in a string. 3 times 3 times 3. Okay, rainbow. 3 times 3. Next rainbow. 3 times 3. Last rainbow. 3 times 3. And we're going to do each one how many times? 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 2 is 18. So each one of these will be 18. So you have calculators that you see, by the way. So 18 plus 18 plus 18 equals 54 meters squared. Easy? Yes. Okay, let's go to the next one. It's time for something easy, right? Yes. Okay, you ready? Okay, we have 3 measurements. So we're going to write them in a row. Is that 6 or what is that? This one right here? Okay, so 8 times 12 times 6. All right. Rainbow. 8 times 12. Y'all can thank Mr. Maloney for this method because he's the one that came up with it. I thank you, Mr. Maloney. He's the one that said, oh, let's show them this way. So, it's his deal.
So no one knows of this, like, promotions?
No. So Mr. Maloney's on my way.
Oh, that's very good.
You ready? Then 8 times 6. Okay, and then the last rainbow is 12 times 6.
You share this with other teachers?
I think I've told Mr. Carpenter, but I'm not sure if he's using this way or not. So we do times 2 each time? Alright. 8 times 12. 8 times 12 is what? And then 96 times 2? 192. Good. 8 times 6 is
48.
That's 48. 48 times 2. No, 48 times 96. Okay, Elvis, I'm relying on you now. 12 times 6 times 2. Okay, so we add all those up. 192 plus 96 plus 144. What's that give us? 432. 432 centimeters squared. All right, the rest of these are yours for homework. You may go there and try 7 to 8 minutes to get a good start. You don't have a lot tonight. You have calculators to make it even easier.